Welcome back. Today we're making Nigersaurus. But that's not all. It's also going to be a vacuum cleaner, because scientifically speaking, it looks like one. And making this is going to be so messy, I'll need a vacuum. Nigersaurus is known for its 500 teeth that were replaced in rows like a shark. What the heck? I'm thinking the bristles could be the teeth, but finding a wide brush attachment with white bristles proved nigh impossible. They're either brown or black. But I did find this. These are replacement brushes for a pool cleaner. I can just slap that right on the front. To keep things light, I'm using rigid foam. This means I'll have to do some carving. I made 7 2-inch cutouts to stack up. Now I've got to remove this. Nice, but wait, the inside needs to be hollow to fit the vacuum hose. Perfect. This spray adhesive melts the foam a little bit, but it makes a quick and strong bond. I didn't glue that part yet. This saw is only getting me so far. I need something more precise. I found these mini saw blades that fit in a hobby knife. They're not very sharp, but they're flexible and they should do the trick. They didn't fit in my nicer hobby knives, so I've got to use my old dirty one. That's okay. These turned out to be very useful. I set up an Amazon storefront so you can find all of the tools and materials I used in this project. Now I'm not the best carver, so I'm bringing in foam clay. I used this on the stego roast and it worked great. It doesn't hold fine details, but I don't need it to. Now I got it where I want it to be. Adding material is a lot easier than subtracting. Now for the fun part, the details. Okay, it's all fun. This epoxy clay will also form a strong outer shell, but it adds weight. That's why I did as much as I could with the foam. The epoxy only gives me an hour to work with, so I gotta go fast. With texture stamps. No time for individual scales. I gotta say, this is a lot easier, and they're easy to make as well. This is just polymer clay with some holes poked into it. Epoxy is sticky, so I have to keep my tools wet. The stamp overlapped here, so I'm just gonna clean that up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's definitely worth the extra time to do this. I'm doing this in batches so I have more time, and this also prevents me from smudging the parts I've already sculpted. I want this to have some variation like real scales, so I'm bringing in some iguana osteoderms. For the eye area, I looked at tortoise references. There's so many details to include here, such as these heavy brow scales and wide face scales, and that transitions back into stamp scales. Speaking of details, I have to show you what today's sponsor, JLC 3DP, sent me in the mail. These are my hatchling sculpts, but these are not ordinary 3D prints. They're metal, stainless steel, and the detail is incredible. These came in a matte finish, but I want to see what these look like polished up, using Flitz metal polish and a rotary tool. Just gotta rinse off this dirty polish. Wow, look at those details. JLC 3DP is an online 3D printing service that can print in a wide variety of materials, with affordable pricing starting at 30 cents, with up to $70 in new user coupons. Just upload your file and get an instant quote with real-time tracking. After uploading my file, I got an email detailing the risks of some of the finer details breaking, but I approved it and they turned out so good. My Nigersaurus was only $27. Remember to budget in express shipping and taxes, because those add up quick. Casting this in steel would be so expensive. I don't even know how you would do it. Super fine scales on the toes. Look, it even got the ear. That's just so cool. Use my link in the description to check them out. It really is a powerful service. Now let's get back to Nigersaurus. I usually don't do much in the way of lips, but I was inspired by this manatee. Don't worry, I kept it subtle. These creases are 100% tortoise. It really is a fun reference. The cheeks seem kind of sunken in, so I'm adding some skin folds. Now that this area is hardened, I'm going back in to give these larger scales more dimension. Moving to the nostrils, and I still had manatee on the mind, even though, it's aquatic. Doesn't really make sense, but I just used it for a general shape. Maybe they stuck their heads underwater. Those get texture stamped. This is a finer stamp. While we're here, I might as well do some dental work. I'm cutting some notches out, so hopefully I can bend this. That should work. Just gotta carve out a trench here. And that will go in like that. I'll use some more clay to cement it in. And fill in those gaps. Now we need some eyes. I'm using acrylic paint on glass cabochons. I want some cool colored eyes. These cat eyes look perfect. I'm layering the paint from front to back, including a bit of gold and a lot of silver. The metallic colors really help it reflect light in the way an eye does. And here's how it turned out. Now we can do the eyelids. This is the most important part. It'll determine the expression the Nigersaurus has. I try to go for a peaceful yet untamed look. Looking at the reference, I think I could have closed the eyes a little more. Of course, we don't want it to be too tortoisey. And it's done. I added some skin folds around the eyelids as well. I'm adding a quick coat of primer so I can paint this in the morning. Good morning. You probably think I'm referencing that tortoise. That's correct. You must have been paying attention. I've used this honey brown and Mississippi mud before, but this time it's getting mixed with a cream color. Let's bring in some of that dark charcoal color. Same down here. Now a light dry brush over that. Blending light gray with light brown. I'm bringing some of that honey color back in to clean up these larger scales. Dabbing in some charcoal texture. And slowing down to individually paint some of these larger scales. Then a dark dry brush, and later on I'll do a light dry brush on top of that. Just like the reference, I'm adding a dusty color in between these charcoal scales and in the crannies. Light flesh tone for the nostrils, satin clear coat. Just needs a touch of gloss on the nostrils and tear ducts. And we're ready to suck up this mess. This is going to be my dedicated desktop vacuum, so it needs a name. Let me know what I should name it. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters: The skeletal crew, the polymer people, the fine detailers, no patrons down here, and finally, the terraformers.